I'm Jack Kaiser of Chippewa Valley Progressive Voices, and we're back for the second in our series of discussions about poverty in Eau Claire County. My guest is Nancy Coffey, the UW Extension Eau Claire County Nutrition Coordinator. Welcome, Nancy.
Thank you.
Thank you for coming back. In our previous session, we talked about defining poverty and the prevalence of poverty and near poverty in Eau Claire County. Let's talk about some of the consequences today. And specifically, let's talk about some of the consequences of the working poor. Am I correct in my understanding that there are many hardworking people in Eau Claire County who are at or just barely above the poverty line?
That is correct. About 30% of our Eau Claire County residents are working poor or near poor.
To put this in perspective, let's talk about a family of four, mom and dad, 2 children. You brought with you a money worksheet. Tell us what the money worksheet is.
The money worksheet helps people to understand that even though a family with 2 children, in this case the children are both in daycare, not in school yet, how that family can still struggle and not have enough money to get through the month unless there's some community assistance to still assist them.
Now your money worksheet contains various numbers for a family's budget. Where are these numbers developed?
The numbers are developed by MIT, and MIT every 3 years recalculates each of these basic needs and how much it costs in our specific county. So it's a nice tool. They've done a lot of research and it can help us to see, oh, can a family make it or not with this kind of income?
Now, in the numbers of the worksheet you brought, have they recently been updated?
Yes, they just were updated in 2015, so this is brand new research calculations.
Well, let's work through the money worksheet for a working family of 4.
Okay, so we took a family. One adult is making $10.50 an hour and one is making $12 an hour. The reason I just made up this number is that typically you don't have 2 people making the same amount of money. And usually the woman makes less money than the man. In our county as well as in many, women tend to make about $10,000 less a year than men in our county. So we have this calculation, so they're making about $900 a week of gross income and giving them $46,800 of annual salary. Now that seems like a sizable amount of money, right? They should be able to make it. We divide that out so their gross monthly income is $3,900. And then, of course, there's FICA and Medicare, so that takes out $234, leaving them $366 of take-home pay. So, wow, we can go buy things now, right?
Well, what can you buy?
Okay, so the first thing I think about is food, because I teach about food and I want to make sure that people are eating well. So what we chose with this, the MIT went by the thriftiest food plan. And if you go to the USDA cost of food at home, you can look this up yourself. Thrifty food plan for all different kinds of families, and they will give you the amount for this family was $758 a month. Now that assumes that that family is not going out at all. No going out to eat. They are going to just make all of their food and prepare it at home, including snacks. So if I take that $366 and subtract out the $758, I have now $2,908.
Why don't you just proceed through this budget?
So housing is a state average that they're taking, and it's $740. We would have to have at least 2 rooms in that rental apartment, right? If we have 2 children. If we have a boy and a girl, we might want to have 3 rooms, but maybe we won't be able to afford that. But $750 is the average, so that gives me $2,168 left. Transportation, has gas gone up lately? So it's starting to come down right now, but gas has been very expensive. So this counts the payment for my car, the gas, the maintenance of that car, and if one of the people maybe has to have public transportation, if we don't have enough money for both of them to, that's going to average out to $930 $36 a month. If I live in the rural community, it might be more than that, right, to get from Augusta to Eau Claire, for example. So that leaves me with $1,232. Childcare, $1,342. I look at that and just gulp. It's just eye-opening to me. I talked to my daughter last night who has two small children, and she said she pays more than this a month for childcare for when her children were in preschool, leaving us a minus $110. Like, oh no, there went my budget. Medical costs are going to vary a lot. This family probably would not be eligible for Badger Care because they're making too much money. So with the Affordable Care Act, they are probably, and medications, depending on family needs, is going to be $465 for an average, leaving me now a minus $575. And other things, now what would that be? Well, like haircuts and clothes and toothpaste and shampoo, all those kinds of things, $408, leaving me a minus $983. And then I'm wondering, oh my gosh, am I going to be evicted because my housing is $740 and I'm in trouble? So there are some bonuses. We have child care tax credits and child tax credits and earned income tax credit. The problem with these bonuses is you get them at tax time. That's once a year. So I have to be a very good money manager to take that annual tax credit and save it for every month to be able to make it through. So even though now I'm only at minus $716, I would have to be very, very good money manager to make that budget even work.
So here you have two people working full-time, and they're still in negative numbers on their budget, on a very lean budget. Is that a correct inference?
Yes.
What's the wild card in all this?
Well, the wild card is the child care, right? I mean, it's blowing me out of the water. If I didn't have child care, I would make it on this budget. If we think about $1,342 and I am low $716. So one of the issues, and it's also raising my transportation costs because I have to get to work and I have to get my children to childcare. So often we maybe would be better off if we did not have that person that's making less money, usually the woman, work outside of the home. The difficulty comes in that if I don't work, and about 70% of our women in Wisconsin do work outside of the home, not all of them full time. If I don't work, then my income, trying to get back into the workforce, it takes quite a long time to be able to get back in and get the same kind of income that I had when I left.
Are there lots of people who work different shifts and deal with it that way?
Yes, that is the other thing that happens often, where dad will work nights, mom will work days, and then we don't see each other. So think about that and how it affects the family and the dynamics of the family if either mom or dad are the only ones there and then someone's trying to sleep while the family's there as well because they work the night shift.
Well, I've learned a lot about the working poor and the working near poor, because this family's not in poverty, are they? They're well above the poverty line. And I'd like to talk with you about the consequences of poverty. Would you be willing to come back for another interview regarding that?
Absolutely.
Thank you very much.